is brought to you by Hims and Hers, healthcare designed for you.
First Take fam, I got some good news for you. We are 10 days away from the start of college football season. Colorado will host Georgia Tech on Friday, August 29th, and Coach Prime will coach a season of college football without his son Shedeur in the quarterback room for the first time in his career, and he has his work cut out for him. The Buffs are projected to win 6 games this season and have a 1.6% chance to make the college football playoff, that according to ESPN Analytics. But one thing Paul Feinbaum knows is Deion likes when the odds are stacked against him. And Paul, you're getting me excited for football season because seeing you here, we know things are about to get real. Great to have you with us. Tell me this, what would be considered a successful season for Deion not having Shedeur Sanders under center and Travis Hunter?
Molly, I think 7 or 8 wins would be considered very good, and I think getting to a bowl game, and I think the most important thing right now is his health, and I know that's a common feeling of all of us here, but he has a lot more important things to deal with than just not coaching his son. So I think the public is watching him and cheering for him, perhaps like they have never before. So I don't think the curve is going to be nearly as steep as it was last year when he had Travis Hunter and Shedeur Sanders.
Stephen A?
I think you might be right about that. I mean, they're projecting anywhere from, 6 to 6.5 wins or something like that. Obviously, he won a little bit more than that last year. They're expecting him to be bowl eligible. But I think we got to be concerned about their offense big time, more so than their defense. Correct me if I'm wrong, Paul. You'd know better than me, but their secondary is expected to be just as good. Travis Hunter's greatness disguised and glossed over a lot of good parts within their secondary, and their defense is expected to be right where it was last year at the very least. It's not expected to be a drop-off, but offensively, especially using the portal with so many transfers, the offensive line is expected to be compromised to some degree. You got this quarterback, Caden Salter, transferring from Liberty, even though he can run with the football better than Shedeur Sanders, his passing accuracy is considered to be significantly less. So as a result of that, when you combine that with an absence of pass protection or a compromised level of pass protection, it seems like it could be a long season for Colorado, who's got one of the toughest schedules. I think 6 of their 10 games, are against big wigs in the Big 12 conference. And so I'm just looking at it from that standpoint. I don't expect that great of a season, but it is primetime Deion Sanders we're talking about. It's going to be real interesting to see what he does without his sons, without Travis Hunter. This is where he gets an opportunity to really, really show the world it wasn't just about coaching his sons. This man can coach football. Let's see what he does.
Paul?
Yeah, I think the problem is really the back end of that schedule, as Stephen A. as we just saw it. A win against Georgia Tech, like some of his early season wins, is going to propel the enthusiasm and the interest. And one thing is certain, whether this is a great team or not, they're selling out. They are going to be must-see TV. And in many ways, I know everybody's made a big deal about Belichick, but Prime is still the attraction in terms of outside of CFP teams. So I think that Georgia Tech win on that Friday night would be critical to get that win. Yeah, but the difference is, and we've hashed this out over the last couple of years, this is the first time I think there is complete unanimity about cheering for Deion Sanders. I was reminded a couple of weeks ago when he was named to the all quarter century team. The 50 anniversary team. We just forgot how great he was in college. We know about the Cowboys. We know what he did in Major League Baseball. But I covered him at Florida State, and I saw his last game there. Auburn was marching down the field to win the Sugar Bowl, and he picked it off. And that really was the beginning of prime time right there.
Yeah, greatness at every level. And Stephen A., I have a question specifically for you. And of course, I want you to piggyback here, Paul. Stephen A., even if Deion doesn't have a great year, do you think that an SEC team should want to reach out to him to fill that void at head coach?
I think so. And the reason I think so is that he has shown what he can do when he has talent. He has shown an ability to recruit talent to get people to want to come to his program. And in Boulder, Colorado, let's call it what it is. Last year, when they won their 8 games and they had a successful season, it was the best season they had since 2016, if I remember correctly. This was a moribund program until he arrived. We all know this, okay? Well, just imagine if he was in Tuscaloosa? What if instead of DeBoer it was him coaching Alabama? What if it was him coaching at Texas A&M with that oil money, with those alumni members contributing to the program and beyond? What if he was coaching at some place like Florida? What if Florida State had gone with him? Not to say their coach didn't do a damn good job at least a couple of years back, but my goodness, that's where he wanted to go. He desperately wanted to go back to Florida State, but they didn't want him, okay? I know this for a fact because I was on the phone with him when it was all going down. I'm telling you what he wanted. And so when you look at it from that standpoint, I'm just saying to myself, him in the SEC, listen, Florida, Alabama, because I'm not sold on the boy. I know that he did a great job in Washington, but listen, they miss Nick Saban in Alabama. You know this, Paul. They miss Nick Saban. Damn it, I miss Nick Saban. Now, he does a great job for us on College Game Day. They all do a fabulous job. That show's fantastic, and I get that, so we benefit from it. But my goodness, this man at Alabama is Nick Saban, baby. And when you don't have him, you can't have somebody that brings a finesse style of game. You understand, to Alabama. That's meat and potatoes, y'all. That's steak and potatoes for breakfast. This is what we're talking about here. Hogs up in there, right? This is what we're talking about. We don't see that. We didn't see that with the boy. I thought they were considerably softer, and I'm not going to lie to you. I would not have minded at all if Alabama changed course and they brought somebody like Prime Time to Alabama. That would have been spectacular, and I think it's something they still should consider down the line if next year this season is a repeat of last season. That's just my personal opinion.
Paul?
Well, Deion is a change agent. If Alabama loses a few games, Stephen, let's return to this subject. But I want to mention a school that could have hired Deion very easily. You mentioned Florida State, Stephen. He interviewed for Arkansas about 5 or 6 years ago. Arkansas, they hired somebody else, Sam Pittman. He's been on the hot seat now for 3 years. I realize that's not the glitz and glamour of Alabama, but there are a lot of schools that passed on Deion Sanders, and deep down, I bet they and their fan base regret. As far as Alabama, Alabama is a fluid team, Stephen A. They're expected to be great, but if DeBoer doesn't win this year, I don't have any doubt conversations like this are going to continue.
Paul, I don't have the time to watch as much college football as you do, but I watch Alabama. You know how I am. And I'm telling you right now, I was not pleased with DeBoer last year. I was not pleased at all, okay? And they look softer. I mean, the Rough Riders that I'm accustomed to seeing at Alabama under Nick Saban, I didn't see them last year. And I'm telling you right now, I better not see that this year, all right? It better be better. You don't defer to anybody. Hell with Georgia. Hell with all of them. You're Alabama. Stand up and handle your business. Otherwise, this should be considered a team. I'm not saying that DeBoer can't coach. We know he could coach. We know what he did at Washington. We know what he's done wherever he's been. But Alabama, listen, you following Nick Saban. That's a different standard. That's a different responsibility. You can either live up to it or you can bounce. It's that simple.
Let me keep it rolling here, guys, because Stephen A., I don't know if you heard, but Paul was also not pleased. And Paul, I promise I'm not wearing these colors on purpose. Go blue. Michigan has been in the news for the NCAA's punishment regarding the sign-stealing saga during their 2023 championship season. College football fans have been livid. Paul, you put the Wolverines and their fans on blast regarding those sign-stealing penalties. Let's listen to this.
What bugs me here, John, is the hypocrisy of the Michigan fan